Good people, it is true. One of the best gaming headsets on the market just got better. Meet the PC38X by Drop and Sennheiser. The PC37X is still up for sale and it's $50 cheaper, so you do have to pay the additional premium for the PC38X, the new pair, because of some driver improvements and some additional accessories. But the PC37X is still a fantastic pair that has a slightly different sound signature, and it's still my recommendation for the $120 price point. At $170, I would say it is still worth it for the PC38X, the new pair, because there's nothing really out there that is open back, that is this comfortable and delivers this type of audio and microphone quality combined. The good thing with this launch, unlike the nightmare that was the 3000 series, is that it's available to buy today. I'll leave links below for both the 38X and the 37X. So let's see what the hype is all about with the 38X right after this. Wow, a mirror finish with ARGB lighting on a Team Group memory kit? Not so crazy after all. The entire module shines and reflects light for that unique look. The kits are available in 16 or 32GB capacities with up to 4000 MHz speeds. Check it out below. Alright, so first let's do a quick physical overview. The most significant difference you would notice would be slight redesign of the ear cup. So we have this mesh, we have the new yellow color, which by the way is kind of some sort of like fabric on the interior. It looks pretty sweet on a macro lens. There's some yellow accents on the microphone grill as well. So color cohesion is here. It's not my favorite choice of color, but it does give you a good distinction between like this gaming headset versus everything else is available that is black and red, black and blue, and black and white. Black and yellow, you know, that's something new. Some additional value add goodies with the 38X include this carry pouch and dual cables. So one 3.5mm angle jack, so a 4-pole connection, which you can plug into a controller or your mobile phone. So you can use this headset and the microphone together with other mobile accessories. And we have a standard splitter cable for your PC, for your sound card, whatever. And a new color scheme too on the cable that is braided and colored in black and yellow, just like the rest of the headset. In terms of weight and build quality, it feels to be identical to the PC37X. Really good extension mechanism. It's all plastic body, super lightweight. You can wear this thing for literally 8 hours a day without any pressure fatigue on the ears or the headband, as this thing is designed super well. It's one of the reasons why I recommend the PC37X so much, is because of the comfort. The only difference with the 38X is the double padding on the headband versus a continuous piece on the 37X, and also the padding material is now different. So the 38X comes with both velvet and this sort of sport mesh material. The sport mesh material does trap a little bit more bass, and it's not as soft as the velvet material, but the ear cups are swappable, which is awesome. You simply pop this out, pop a new one in, easy. One really cool detail about the new ear cups is that we have almost like double lining. So on the interior, we have this velvety soft material. So if your ears do make contact, it's super comfortable, while the exterior remains to be that slightly more coarse and condensed material. So it doesn't attract as much skin particles or hair as the velvet ear cups do, and they do produce a slightly different sound profile too. Design and comfort wise, this is my #1 headset versus everything else that I have available that is gaming related. Not only is it low profile, the ear cups are deep enough so that my ears don't make contact with that internal angled wall. The clamping force is not too tight, not too loose, it's just right, and the size extensions are absolutely massive. So this would fit anything from really small heads to massive heads, just because of how tiny they can collapse into versus how much they can expand. This is so much more comfortable than the GSP 500 or 600 combined, multiplied by 1000. PC37X, 38X is the benchmark to beat when it comes to gaming headset comfort. And it's awesome because I loved the sound quality and the drivers of the GSP 500, 600. And now it's here. The one minor warning I will say about build quality is that because we have this mesh on the sides, don't press into the mesh too hard because it might bend inward and there's no way to like pump it back out. The microphone body and the capsule are identical to the 37X, which I would say is a good thing. It is muted when in the upright position with a distinct click. This would give you that mute confidence when you're on the call, so you don't have to do it through software. It is quite flexible too, so you can position it as close to your mouth as possible. And on the right ear cup, we have a volume dial. It's the same volume dial, so not much resistance, and it does have the hard stops for minimum and maximum volume. As for microphone quality, this is what the 38X sounds like. Based on specifications and to my ears, it is identical to the PC37X, which I've considered to be a really good baseline for $120. So no difference here. It is a more expensive headset in the gaming arena, but you do get much better drivers. For comparison, here's what the PC37X sounds like running off the same cable because they're interchangeable and I don't want to swap things out. But yeah, 37X, 38X, to my ears at least, sound identical. Just for comparison, here's what the Razer Blackshark V2X sounds like. This is a $59 headset, and they are really close in microphone quality to the 38X in terms of clarity, in terms of the natural bass pickup. So that's pretty impressive for this headset as well, and this is going directly into my motherboard without any compression or effects applied. Just as a fun comparison, I just got the G733 in blue, and this is a wireless pair, so microphone quality, I mean, let's not treat it as like an apples to apples comparison, but it's $129, and this is what you can expect in terms of microphone quality for this pair versus what you just heard for both $59, $169, and $120. The main price premium with the 38X though doesn't really come through the accessories, which are nice, but the drivers is what makes a whole difference. So the 38X uses the same drivers as the GSP 500 and the GSP 600, which have so much extra bass and they're extra full, not as harsh on the high end like the 37X. So in the 37X body, that type of driver is incredible. So first, the impedance is lower on the 38X versus the 37X, 28 ohms versus 50 ohms respectively, meaning you can drive this with a mobile phone, with a controller, no problem. However, the sensitivity on the 37X is slightly higher, which means it does go louder. Comparing them side by side, oh man, what a difference the driver makes despite being housed in the same body. The 38X immediately has a lot more body, a lot more power on the low end that you can feel the bass, it's deep, despite this being an open style design. The 37X on the contrary has a much sharper high end with more perceived clarity. The 38X remind me a little bit of how the HD58X Jubilee sound in terms of delivering really good bass department despite being an open style design, but the HD58X still has slightly warmer bass and slightly smoother high end and a wider soundstage. But man, has it been fantastic using the 38X for gaming. So Squad recently came out of beta. Now it's actually like a version 1 of the game. And the sound engine for all the weapons, for all the distant fire is absolutely incredible. So combine that with an open style design, combine that with really great low end pickup on the 38X and that smooth high end, because Squad can get a bit intimidating and intense and kind of sharp with a 37X. So here it eliminates that sharpness and gives you that really nice immersion. Jumping into the world of Mafia with the definitive edition. So the sound engine here, I would say, is not as good as other open world games, but hearing like water splash underneath the tires while it's raining, or coming out of the car while the metal is bending and you can hear the metal changing shape based on temperature, all those little elements are picked up. But I will say the 37X is actually slightly better for Mafia in particular, just because there are little details and the treble is more pronounced with a sharper high end here versus slightly smoother high end definition with the 38X. Overall though, I would still prefer the PC38X, the new one, over the 37X in basically all games, even competitive stuff where I need that treble. I don't really care about the bass, but the bass here is super defined and just kind of impressive for what it can deliver with like open ear cups. You know, it doesn't trap everything in there. So they've done a really good job. In terms of audio quality versus something cheap like the Blackshark V2X, a $59 headset, by the way, which I would 100% recommend. I mean, the microphones even sound almost identical. So that's one of the major positives about the V2X. But the audio quality, wow, you can definitely tell the difference that this is more premium, more defined, so much extra detail in the background, beautiful soundstage expansion, and so much extra like defined bass versus listening to the Blackshark V2X. It sounds it sounds like a $59 headset in comparison. For my conclusion, at $170, this thing is totally worth it if that's in your gaming budget. We get the drivers from the GSP 500, 600 and a Game 1 PC37X body, which is awesome. The color scheme is not for everybody, but I like that it is going to be quite distinct moving forward. And perhaps this opens up opportunities for game-specific colors or different colors altogether. For $50 less, the PC37X is still worth it in my books, even though you don't get the same rich low-end pickup and bass isn't as defined. Here, this thing is more sensitive, so it is slightly louder. It does have a sharper high end, so it's a very bright headset in comparison to this one, which I would say is not exactly low and heavy, but it's a bit more mellow. If you prefer a bright sound signature, the 37X, easy. I know it's too much to ask to have a removable microphone on this body. It's not a headphone that is designed for outdoor listening. You can hear everything that's happening in the environment and your audio will be broadcasted to the world, but still it'd be awesome to have this like modular approach to a gaming headset. But yeah, we'll see. All right, guys, I'll leave drinks for drop down below. You can pick up the 38X today, which is awesome. So if you're on the market for a new gaming headset and $170 isn't your turnoff, definitely consider this guy. All right, I'm Dmitry. Thanks so much for watching. Check out this other relevant content. Subscribe for more. I'll talk to you in the next video.